Ladies, gentlemen, and young ladies, the situation is very, very serious on the side of Ukraine on October 8th, 2025. In less than 24 hours, Russia has just hit a second installation, and not of the least, on the territory Ukrainian. We have the impression that Vladimir Putin, this famous meeting he held with his front commanders on the day of his birthday, yesterday, October 7th, 2025, we have like the impression that these are the results of this meeting, extremely strategic. The results are dangerous. The results are nuisance for Ukraine. NATO is devastated after the precision surgical strike on the large oil depot with a capacity very high in the locality of what do we call Pirili. Piriluki after Piriluki in Leherni, it's a round of another enrichment plant coal to be struck and to be struck by a precision strike surgical. Yes, it's fire everywhere. On this night of October 8th, 2025, Ukraine is experiencing Kochardesque realities. It's the ashes, it's the flames, power cuts everywhere, the transport stops, hospitals stops, nothing works anymore, not of electricity. Ladies, gentlemen, and young ladies, this new installation, which comes to be struck on this night of the 8th of October 2025, will therefore be the subject of our analysis within the framework of this geopolitical conference dedicated to world news. But before continue the conference, allow that I remind everyone of the news people the sacred duty to put the signs which therefore motivate likes and share the conference as much as possible, geopolitics, to allow others to receive information. And for all those who are at their first time stumble upon my lecture, thank you for click on the subscribe button. Subscribe. This allows you to no longer miss the decryption, the news analysis, hot and burning geopolitics current world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get going into the depths to see what it is. So, according to official information, it is a targeted strike in the X energy fixed strategy. It must be said, it must be recognized. It is an energy axis strategy that Russia adopted, stifled Ukraine energetically, especially before the arrival of the season cold. And so when the Ukrainians will no longer have anything to warm up, will no longer have electricity, this will facilitate activities military of Russia. This would allow Russia to have a lot more military benefits strategic. And so it's an enrichment factory of coal that was hit in the middle industrial heart. It must be said that it is the heart of the industry of the Ukrainian economy. This is what is aimed at. So the goal or the observation I was going to say is that less than 24-hour strike on Deposit Preloki Oil Company, that's in the Tchiani, the enrichment plant of coal, was completely destroyed by a precision strike. This is a double strategic cost. A double strategic cost in the sense that this factory participates in the food supply of the Ukrainian energy network, especially for production electricity and supply railway. So the distribution of the fluent and facilitate the movement of trains, subways, and others. So that was the role of this factory of coal production. But here is the coal production plant, which is reduced to ashes, which means in the locality, no power. The worst part is that the populations can no longer move. This is a double blow for Ukraine, and these are unfortunately the consequences of the war. It is one reason why we have always said that we really want to see this conflict in Ukraine come to an end, that the PAI is priceless. Today, civilian populations are in the process of pay the price for bad decisions policies of the leaders of Ukraine. So, it must be said that it is an industrial symbol that has been targeted, since this type of infrastructure has not only an energetic value, it is the very heart of military logistics and economic of the country. From the heart of the military and economic logistics of the country. If on the other side, the oil depot was set on fire by here the coal production plant also burned down, it means that Russia is targeting everything that is strategically energetic. It is to bring the country to a standstill, in fact. So, it must be said that this strike is part of a war for resources. Now, we are in a war of resources. This is the where objective, which means what? Russia leads a strategy that aims to exhaust the energy capacities. Russia aims to exhaust capabilities, energy and industrial Ukraine, especially before winter. We have not stopped repeating it. It is the new strategy, and that's it, the where objective. And so the cumulative effect is that every strike, refinery, depot, factory creates an effect domino, less electricity, less transport, less production, military. So it's a pressure sequence struck within 24 hours. Two sites very affected when the first site is struck. All the country's emergency services are mobilized to go to the first site. Then the second site is hit. In the end, it's total confusion. I tell you, it runs in all the meaning. And so it must be said that it is a clear signal of intensification before the cold season, and we still wonder once. These are the orders that Vladimir Putin must have given yesterday, that this is the birthday present that Vladimir Putin might be in giving to Ukraine. Here is a big question we ask ourselves. We must to say that we are witnessing live the gradual industrial collapse of Ukraine. Ukraine is gradually losing its capabilities. Autonomous energy production now dependent on imports Western. And even it remains to be seen whether the Western import channels is this, that these channels will not be destroyed by Russia. Big point question mark. There is a crisis, social and military, which is in the process of settle, because in the region's industrial sectors, which are already weakened, we see the workers move and we see their infrastructure to be destroyed. So in the end, nothing is going right. And so ladies, young ladies and gentlemen, that was the front page of international news. Thank you for the share in all groups possible. I'll get back to you soon, the hour, by the grace of God the Almighty, with new news. It was the voice of your humble servant, the Samurai, Mr.